You'll learn that with the push and unshift methods, you can add elements to the end and the beginning of an array. But what if you want to add elements somewhere between the beginning and the end, or combine two or more arrays into a single array? For example, say you had city lists from two different countries or arrays, and you needed to combine both to make a single cities list. In this lecture, I'll teach you the basics of the spread operator, a special syntax JavaScript provides to build, combine, and manipulate arrays quickly and more seamlessly. Let's look at an example. To code along with me, first download the course folder from the link in the description below and open it with your favorite code editor. Here I'm using Visual Studio Code. From the course folder, open the exercise folder called JavaScript Arrays. And then open the index.html file in the browser. Here I also open the JavaScript console. In the index.html file, remember to link spread.js file. In the spread.js file, there are currently two arrays. One named initial numbers, which holds the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and 10. And another one named missing numbers that holds the numbers 5, 6, 7, 8. The spread operator expands an array or places the contents of one array into another array. For example, I want to add the contents of this missing numbers array inside the initial numbers array between the numbers 4 and 9. I'll first try adding the missing numbers variable inside the initial numbers array between the numbers 4 and 9 like this. I'll also display the initial numbers array in the console. I'll save the change, refresh the page, and in the console, when the initial numbers array gets updated, notice how the missing numbers array is inserted into the initial numbers array. It's an array inside the array. This is okay if you are trying to create what's called two-dimensional array, which I will teach you in the upcoming lectures. But now what I want is a single array with 10 elements. With the spread operator, you can pass only the values of an array into another array. The spread syntax consists of 3 dots immediately followed by the name of the array. So back in the spread.js file, just by placing 3 dots before the variable name missing numbers, all the values from the missing numbers array get unpacked and spread out into the initial numbers array. I'll save the change, refresh the page. Notice how the initial numbers array now has 10 elements. Think of it like you are creating a copy of the missing numbers array and adding new elements into the initial numbers array at the same time. Taking the contents of an array and spreading it out to fuel another array is one of the most common uses of the spread operator. There will be times when you'll need to combine 2 or more arrays into a new array. JavaScript provides a few different ways to do this, but the spread syntax offers the most concise and elegant solution. For example, let's bring back our cities array, but this time we'll build that array from multiple arrays. First, I'll create an array named big cities. This array holds the values. Next, I'll create an array named small cities. This array holds the values. Now I want to combine the big cities and small cities array into a single array named cities. What should I include inside this array? Again, I'll use the spread syntax to bring in the contents of the big cities array and small cities array into this cities array. I'll also display the cities array in the console. I'll save the change, refresh the page. As you can see in the console, all 10 city names are now in the cities array. The spread operator extracted each element from the initial array and placed it in a new array. Good! Earlier I mentioned that the spread syntax creates a copy of the original array. This means that even when the elements inside the original array change, like the big cities or small cities array, the new array like cities remains the same. For example, I'll call the push method on the big cities array and add the string Paris to the end of the array. I'll save the change, refresh the page. In the console, notice how Paris does not appear in the cities array. But if I type big cities to see the contents of the original array, Paris was indeed added to the end. The same would happen with the shift, unshift, and pop methods. For example, small cities.pop does not remove an element from the end of the cities array. It affects the small cities array only. To add elements to the new cities array, you can use the push and unshift methods. For example, cities dot unshift Moscow and Rome adds Moscow and Rome to the beginning of the cities array. Another handy aspect of the spread operator is that you can use it to pass array as arguments to functions. Sometimes functions can accept any number of arguments. For example, the math.max function returns the largest number from a set of number values passed into it. I'll create a numbers array and store 5 numbers inside it. If I pass math.max a reference to the numbers array using just the variable name, I'll save the change, refresh the page. Notice how this returns nan, or not a number. Remember, nan is JavaScript's way of saying that it can't find a number. The argument passed to math.max cannot be converted to a number. With the spread operator, you can expand an array into different arguments. I'll pass math.max the arguments like this using the spread operator. I'll save the change, refresh the page. In the console, now it returns the maximum number 300. The spread operator has lots of other uses which you'll learn about in upcoming lectures. Alright, you have learned the basics of arrays, how to create them, how to add and remove array elements, even copy and combine arrays. Up next, I'll teach you how to loop through array elements using for loops.